Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to show you how I make some easy shrimp and broccoli, starting off with my ingredients of cayenne pepper, black pepper, Old Bay seasoning, as well as Italian seasoning and green onion. That's used for my epis. I have my butter, broccoli, shrimp, olive oil, my honey, soy sauce, and yeah, let's get started. I did include this quick picture of all the ingredients that I used in this process. Everything will be listed below, so just be sure to follow the measurements as well as the steps. So, Epis is usually used by Caribbean people. We use it for our meats. It makes the process of cooking easier. So, I poured my olive oil as well as the ingredients that I mentioned earlier, along with my green onion. We have cayenne pepper, black pepper, Old Bay seasoning, Italian seasoning, as well as garlic. We can't forget the garlic. Garlic is my favorite. It always gives your food like a real good flavor. This is an additional step that I use while making this meal. I usually like my food to be real flavorful, so I usually add water to the bullet, give it a good mix because I am going to use it later on, and that could be something you do. So after I blended my ippies, I added it to my shrimp and make sure that it is well combined and mixed and that the ippies is sticking to the shrimp. And then I make sure to set it aside after that. I do that because I want everything to at least, sit for a little bit so it could be soaked and take in and everything. So once I put that to the side, I'm going to be sure to work on my broccoli, which you're going to see here in a second. But look at how beautiful that is. I love the color of this shrimp. I didn't want anything to go to waste, so this is some shrimp that I had in the refrigerator, and I was like, you know what? I don't want this to go to waste, so why don't I record a quick video to, show you all how I make some amazing shrimp and broccoli. So this is an additional step that I took where I did cut off the ends of the broccoli as well as any leaves that I seen on the broccoli. Anything that's usually not appealing to the eye, I like to get rid of regardless whatever I'm cooking, whatever meal I'm making. So this is an extra step that you could do. Doesn't take too long. It doesn't add so much time to the cooking process. It's extremely quick. So after I do that, I'm going to make sure that I also give my broccoli a real good rinse and make sure if there's, anything on there, I can get rid of it. This is me showing everything that I got rid of, from the broccoli. So I got my pan hot and nice and ready to go. I'm going to add my oil to the pan, which is already hot, and I'm going to add my shrimp to the pan. The reason I use some olive oil is because I wanted to get like, a real nice color to my shrimp. Be sure that you don't overly cook your shrimp. If anytime, have you ever gone to a restaurant and you've been some shrimp and you're like, oh, this is a little bit too chewy, or you've made some and you like, dang, I could have cooked, the shrimp a little less. It's because you overly cooked it. So I usually tend to cook my shrimp for about 5 to 6 minutes. I don't cook it for too long. So that keeps it, when I bite into it, it's really good. As you can see, I did not waste that seasoning that was left in that shrimp pan. Okay. I made sure to add some water to it and then added it to the pan because I really want to make sure I have enough broth for this meal. That is a personal preference because I like to kind of use my broth for other meals, the day after. So I check my shrimp about 2 times throughout this process just to make sure everything is good. And next, after my shrimp is done, I just move it to the side and I'm going to get started on that broccoli. My pan is hot. I'm going to add that butter to the pan and wait until it melts before I add my soy sauce. Soy sauce gives it a little kick as well as the honey, balances everything out. And it's just kind of a hint of sweetness to this meal. It's not overly sweet or anything. You could just taste it. You're like, okay, this honey is good. Does it right. So I make sure I always stir everything. This is a non-stick pan that I'm using, but I just always like to make sure that everything is, you know, stirred well. So after that has been added, look at that beautiful color. And the soy sauce also adds some nice color to the broccoli and shrimp. Remember that, water that I poured into the bullet? I made sure to add that into my honey, my soy sauce, and butter. And that makes this good old broth. You know, you're going to wait until your broth boils. And after, you know, it comes to a boiling point, you're going to add your broccoli. Make sure to add everything. I added like half and then the other half later on. That's what you see in there. So after I got everything good and ready to go, I'm going to add the broccoli to the pan. Look at that. Look at that beautiful color. I love broccoli. So with the broccoli, I make sure to cook it for about 8 to 9 minutes. So everyone's a little bit different. I like for my broccoli to be a little bit softer. I don't like it too firm. So you can alter it. How you can check on that is just take a little piece and be like, okay, I like it just like this. And you could turn everything off and add the shrimp afterwards. Like I said, you don't have to follow everything step by step. You can alter it based on how you like your food to be. So after my broccoli is cooked, I add the shrimp last. Why? Pop quiz. Because we don't want the shrimp overly cooked. Okay, shrimp already cooked earlier on. We're just adding it to make sure that everything is, you know, flavorful, taste the shrimp, all of that. So I just let this cook for a couple more minutes and I make sure to turn off my stove. Look at that. Does that not look good? And later on, you're going to see what I use the broth for the day after, just to give you a good idea of what you can do. Turn off the stove, and then I am ready to eat and try this out. It was so good. I would rate this a 10 out of 10. It's a very quick meal. If you're in a rush or you just want something real light to eat, I suggest you make this dish. Let me know how you liked it. You know, go ahead. Don't be afraid to chat. Talk to me. Let me know if you tried this out, how you liked it, what you rated out of a 10. I say a 10 out of 10. I'll pat my own self on the back. And the day after, I did include a picture. I did use it for some noodles of mine, the broth, and it was so good. I did not regret it at all. But let me know how you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. All right.
Même si